And I know you were just upstairs with them.
I went in and did an intro for a screening that happened. I believe they're doing their Q&A right now.
Oh, they are? So they're competing. I wonder who's got the bigger crowd. No, I hope you all watch it because I can't really tell you that much about it, but I'm just being called, my character is called the Well-Dressed Man.
You think you can handle that?
I'm pretty sure I can handle it. But there'll be more revealed about him. He'll be pivotal in the program, and yeah, it's something I'm very excited about. I fly back to Los Angeles this afternoon, and then I have an overnight in LA, and then I fly up to Vancouver tomorrow morning, and I start shooting again tomorrow morning. So it's a busy schedule, but I'm really excited. It came out of the blue. It came from left field, and they rang me and asked me if I would. This is what's great. Would you like to play the character on this new show? And I was like, yeah. I mean, come on. So yeah, I'm glad to be going into another kind of realm of you know, fiction, sci-fi, and fantasy and stuff like that. So it's really cool. Time to create another cool character.
Yeah. I want to talk about one of your coolest characters ever. The ever eager Captain Jack flirted with every woman, man, robot, alien.
Yes. He loves an eager beaver.
So how much...
And you got a lot of them here in Canada, let me tell you.
How much of John is in Jack?
Oh my!
Careful with that. My
Do you
middle
want to
name is Jack.
rephrase that? The one thing that I always feel when you're playing a character, I hate using the word character because I know a lot of other actors get up and they go, you know, the motivation behind it is really feeling, you know, what's inside. Shut the hell up. For people to like you and your character on television, you have to put an element of yourself into that character. And I'm proud that Russell and Stephen Moffat and everybody, and you know, Jane Espins and everyone who was involved in the writings for Captain Jack, they got to know me first. And then they put my personality, part of it, into Jack. So there's a lot of Jack in John and a lot of John in Jack. But, you know, personality-wise, because you all know me from, I assume you do, from either, you know, TV or books or interviews, and you know that I am kind of like Jack in his wit and his sexuality and all that kind of stuff, but the only thing I don't do is walk around the street shooting people in the head. Although it seems to be a thing right now in the news. Yeah, but so that's it. I think that's important, and that's what makes the characters and the character in shows for you guys good, because you get to see personality rather than something that is created.
Well, we're fast approaching the 50th anniversary of Doctor Who. Stephen Moffat, now the man in charge.
Yeah.
Let's pretend that you had some creative control over the 50th anniversary episode. How would you like to see Captain Jack return, you know, and hang out with the Doctor? Is there a particular adventure you'd like to see them take on, or something?
Well, I've got to be honest with you, I haven't really thought about that, and just off the top of my head, you know, Matt Smith. I did meet Matt Smith before he, you know, I knew he had got the role of the Doctor. We knew what was going to. Obviously, we know a lot before you do. And I sat down at a table with him at the BBC in one of the press offices and just had a chat. We both said it would be great if his Doctor and Jack crossed and met. I don't know. I think it would be interesting to see if he would come and find Jack on planet Earth. You know, it's difficult because we try not to cross. Jack can cross over, but the Doctor can't cross into Torchwood. He just can't. It's not. It's in our world. It's not allowed. So I think if he would find him, he'd travel back in time and find Jack somewhere, maybe chained up, surviving. Or go to the future. What might be interesting is to, you know, go to the future and see how he becomes the face of Bo. that's just my little thing. Don't anybody go online and go, John Barrowman says that. That's what doctor's gonna be, and they're gonna become the face of no.
It's gonna happen.
I know it's gonna happen. But I have to say that so I clear myself of all.
We are going to throw it out to the audience, but I just want to ask one question. If you had to choose, who is your favorite doctor?
Don't even
Come
see,
on.
gosh darn it.
Come on.
Like I'm going to answer that.
Not even like...
No, no, listen, you'll all understand this. I love the Doctor Who experience. I love the show, but I have to say my doctor is David Tennant. Otherwise known as David Tennant. We both wear the same size shoe.
Right.
What point do I break gays?
We're sharing a gaze.
Don't fight with gays. Because we will break you.
On that note.
Yeah.
Questions from the audience. Oh my gosh.
There's a board right there in the front row.
Shout out loud.
I was just wondering if during the show Arrow, if you're finally going to see you naked.
Well, you've already seen me naked in Torchwood and in Doctor Who. What do you want to see me naked again for? In Arrow?
Why not?
I don't know. Listen, I'll leave the nakedness up to Steve.
How can you be the well-dressed man if you're undressed?
Correct. Well, then they have a term in England. It's which way do you dress? You didn't get that, did you? Dress to the left or the right, get it? Never mind. Yeah, I don't know. I hope there's no nude scenes because I got a love handles that I got to get rid of first. And to compete with the Steve who plays the lead in it, he's got like a 52-pack. And he's awesome. Yeah, awesome. And it's in my contract that he must be naked every time around me. He doesn't know that yet, but...
Okay, keep calm, and I'm not quite sure where that's going. Keep calm and something on.
Okay.
This is not really a question, it's more of a comment.
Okay, next. Anyway.
A couple months ago, I was bound to a wheelchair, and I was in a wheelchair for a very long time. And I recently just got out of it, and while I was in my wheelchair, I couldn't really leave the house, so I would watch Doctor Who and Torchwood.
Yeah.
And it gave me that escape, so I really just wanted to say thank you for giving me that option.
You're welcome, babe. It's you who basically did all the hard work. And if you were housebound, you should have just stuck some black cardboard over yourself in the wheelchair and become a Dalek. It would have been fabulous. That'll make it fun, doesn't it? Yeah? Have you done that yet? Anybody? No? Do it. It's great.
Well, these are conventions where people are passionate about, various entertainments come to, anime, whatever.
Yeah.
What is your geek out thing at the moment? What are you passionate about these days?
Oh, I've got a lot. Well, I've got a lot of geek out things. I mean, I buy a lot of collectible stuff. I do. I collect character dolls. From shows, and also at the moment I'm really big into they're selling them out there. The pint glasses with Batman and Superman and all the different characters on them, and they just released Josie and the Pussycat. So I bought Josie and the Pussycats, and I also got they did some of the Archie characters, and I got some of those. What else? T-shirts are always my big thing. Every time I do a convention, I walk the floor. I don't go in disguise. I mean, I'm sure some of you saw me walking over the last couple of days. And everybody's cool. They let me do my thing because they know I'm a big geek myself.
Right.
So I buy T-shirts, and then when I take them back, to the hotel, Scott rifles through them and gets the ones that he wants. And usually they're the ones that I want, so there ends up being a big fight, but then that leads into something else that's really a lot of fun. And we wear the T-shirts, and then we pretend we're the superheroes, and it's awesome. I know we're doing some of the, get some from the back. Yeah? Oh, hi.
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 First of all, massive, massive fan of everything Torchwood, Doctor Who.
I am so glad.
I'm actually shaking right now.
You're shaking.
Yeah.
Don't pee yourself.
I'll try not to.
I am not into that.
Not to spoil the illusion for anyone, but obviously when you guys all cram into that blue box, you're not actually walking into a room that's bigger on the inside. I was wondering if you have...
What are you saying? I don't know what planet you're on, but we are.
I was wondering if you had any funny or awkward stories of being crammed in a tiny blue box with David and Freema.
Yeah, David, Freema, and I. Yeah, Freema used to hate being in the box with well. She's not that kind of girl. No, David and I with Freema, we used to get in and David and I would just start farting. And she's going, ah! Freema never swore or anything like that, but I would look at David and I go, you ready? He's like, yeah. And she'd just go, oh, you guys are sick. And action. That's why she always comes out of the TARDIS looking like she's just freaked, going, ah! and then those episodes, and when we would do that, we would call it the Turdis. Yes, the Doctor and Jack farting their way through time. Awesome.
Angela, okay, yes.
Hi, big fan. I was wondering, due to the huge recent population of fans in America, we've had a lot of increase in support with BBC America releasing Doctor Who at the same time. I'm wondering, do you think this is going to lead possibly to an American or a Canadian having a role as a companion or even as the Doctor?
I'm sure it could happen. I mean, look, I grew up, I am British by birth, but I grew up in America, and I was in the TARDIS. So you had Tegan in the past, who was Australian. You've had different actors and actresses who play stuff. Of course, there's room for a Canadian, and I think it would be the one thing that is great about sort of the fan world and sci-fi world at the moment. It is becoming more international, and you also have to play those things for other networks. Look, I'm going to be an Arrow, but I'm not stupid. I know that I'm on there, and I'm going to direct. Hopefully you guys will come along to watch it. So they've got a huge audience going to come to their show right away. That's me talking smart business. So obviously, if BBC America or the BBC in the UK or BBC Worldwide want to further the shows and make them more popular in the different countries, of course they could bring in a Canadian. I think it'd be great. Just make sure he or she is hot. And they are a lumberjack. Wouldn't that be good, a lesbian lumberjack in the TARDIS? God love the lesbians. Yeah, just choose better shoes. Okay? I love it. Okay? Who's next? Right down there. Go ahead, speak up.
Well, first off, I just wanted to thank you as a queer woman.
Uh-oh, queer woman who's not good holding big things in her hand. Unless they're plastic. Oh, shut up. You all know what I'm talking about. Don't act shocked.
And I'm dressed as
I'm talking about big pens. Sorry, go ahead, sweetheart.
And I'm dressed as a lesbian superhero, so lots of neat stuff in this utility belt.
Speak up. Speak up and hold that close to your mouth. No, seriously, go.
I was just wondering, with genre seems to have a lot more queer characters than mainstream things, and I was wondering if you had any particular favorites out of, sci-fi, comics, that sort of thing.
Well, I actually have to contradict you there, because actually mainstream has more gay characters on television than sci-fi. And sci-fi does have a lot. This genre has a lot. We were the first ones really to do it, so to speak. But I don't know. Things are changing. People are becoming, writers who are coming up are like us. We're not afraid anymore to sit inside a closet or say who we are. So writers and actors, not so much actors, like myself, but a lot are not, some are still not coming out of the closet. But what my kind of big thing is, and this is where I'm so proud of Captain Jack, I'm proud of what Russell and Stephen and Julie Gardner and the BBC allowed me to help create, was the fact that I'm a hero. I'm not a flouncing queen who, and there's nothing wrong with that, don't get me wrong, but there's a very diverse group of gay men and women out there, and we need to be represented on television in the proper way. We don't need to all be stereotyped on television, and that's what happens. And unfortunately, certain audiences around the world only identify with types. But for the writers and people who are creating new shows and doing things differently and breaking those stereotypes, those are the shows that we should stand by and stand up for and watch and be proud of. So anyway.
Just on that note, do you still find it difficult in mainstream world, in Hollywood, it still seems like it's hard for a lot of men to come out and then be able to be active in mainstream roles?
I don't know how to answer that because I don't give a shit what other people think. And if you are allowing someone to dictate the fear in yourself, to dictate, so you can't be who you are, then you really should grow a set of cojones and speak up and be up. I had producers say to me, in fact, it was what someone said to me, and this producer was gay themselves, and they said, you shouldn't say about, your partner, you shouldn't talk about this, you shouldn't do that, you shouldn't be who you are. And I went back to Scott and I said, look, what do I do? And he said, well, what do you want to do? And I said, well, I'm not going to ask you to hide and pretend that, and go to a function and then pretend to have a girl in my arm just because some people aren't comfortable with it. That's not my problem. So I'm going to be who I am. And I basically said, no, I'm not going to do it. And they weren't cool with that. But you know what? That's their bad. And if they want to write me out or put me out of a show because of that, I don't care. I don't want to be in a show with people like that, So it is hard, I'm sorry, I sound like I'm preaching about it, and I guess I am a little bit, but people shouldn't be forced to come out of the closet. There's certain reasons some people don't want to, be open about who they are, and if it's a personal issue and an emotional issue, it's none of our business to out somebody, right? Everybody's got to do it in their own time. So if someone's saying they're not going to do it because they're afraid they're going to lose their job, that's something you really need to sit down and think about. Do you really want to work for people that are like that? And, again, it's changing. It's all changing out there. And the more people who stand up and don't take that kind of behavior, the easier it's going to be for that, young man and young girl going through puberty at the moment who are realizing that they are gay and lesbian. They can look up to all the rest of us and go, you know what, it's going to be a heck of a lot easier, and that's what it's about.